Welcome, this is Carrie Schell from On Point Quilter. Even though I am seeing no signs of flowers in Minnesota, I know that that is the typical outcome of our April showers. And so we're going to create the flower block during this video tutorial. So I've opened Electric Quilt. I'm going to open an existing project and I'm going to find April showers and I'm going to select OK. Now for my next block, I'm going to select Design a Block from Scratch, and I'm going to do a new block pieced Easy Draw, and on the Draw tab I'm going to change the width and the height to 4, snaps to 4, and graph paper to 4, and the only snapping option is Snap to Grid. I'm going to use the line tool and I'm going to start by drawing a square within a square. And then I'm going to create sort of the base for my flower. And so I'm going to start at the midpoint of that first diagonal line, go to the center of the bottom, and repeat for the other side. And then I want to create a square for the bud. So I'm going to go ahead and add that, going from the 1, 1 down to the center of the block back to the 3, 1. Now to actually piece this last item, right now if I use the line tool, you'll notice I can't stop there, right? Because I don't have a snap point. So I have a couple of options in terms of fixing this. First, let's do undo. One of them is to change my snaps to 8 by 8. And so let's just go ahead and try that. And now I can draw a line from there. And that's one way to sort of solve this. The other option, so if I undo this and move this back to 4 by 4, is to draw a diagonal line to cover that whole grid, that whole 1 inch. I could have gone to the Color tab, back to the Draw tab, use my Pick tool, and delete that second piece. So two options, both would work very well and make this a very pieceable block. Now I'm going to go to the Color tab and I'm going to use my fabrics to color this. Now one thing you've noticed, I have my fabric preview window detached, which allows me to have just a little bit better view of my fabrics before I drop them into the project. And once I've got one of the flowers done, I'm going to go ahead and add this to the project sketchbook. Now I'm going to view my project sketchbook. I'm going to look at the Quilt tab and I'm going to find the quilt from the last session and I'm going to select Edit. Now what I'm going to do is go to the Border tab and I am going to first of all just add another border, and I really want to repeat this particular border. So I'm going to select Clone and I'm going to select Add. Now for this, rather than top, so I'm going to move that top down to 0 and I want that to be my bottom border. So I'm going to turn off all the lock size adjustments, including the left, right, and top, bottom. Put the 4 inch in the bottom and I can scroll to the end and I'm going to select this block that I just did and I can fill my spaces with it. Now I am going to go to my fabric tools, use my eyedropper to find this fabric, color the sashing, and I'm going to use a pink for a few of those other flowers. So let me go ahead and find a pink and I'm going to swap that out. Now if I want to get rid of my logo, I can certainly just hide layer 3, which is where I put that on. And I have a choice of printing this or showing this either with quilt patch lines or without. But I'm going to go ahead and add this to the project sketchbook. Thanks so much for watching. Next week we're going to add a border to this quilt. If you would like additional electric quilt tips and techniques and access to my classes, please subscribe to my weekly newsletter at www.onpointquilter.com.